guys, welcome back to another Nintendo Arcade. I'm Alex and I'm going to show you my Famicom games today. I haven't got loads, but I just pick up whatever I was going cheap on eBay at the time. So and I guess I've been collecting about 2 or 3 years now, I guess. They're a little bit cheaper than the PAL A games, European games, and I think they've got better artwork as well. So that's what's attracted me to collecting the Famicom games. The only problem I have with the Famicom is the leads on the Famicom are too short. You know, on the NES they're a lot longer, so you're a bit limited on how far away you can play from the TV. But other than that, the games are fantastic, and there's some awesome arcade conversions on the Famicom. So let's start with these then. This is the first one up. This is an in-house, in no particular order. This is Ice Climber. It's an in-house Nintendo game. It's pretty cool. Plays on my red tent as well. Still haven't got around to showing my red tent yet. It's right here underneath me. Be doing that very, very soon. This game here, again, I buy stuff because of the artwork sometimes. I really don't know what the game's called. But look at that, it looks pretty cool. It's got kind of like a Wizard of Oz kind of crystal ball going on there. But this is called Baltron. I think it's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Again, fantastic artwork on there. Haven't actually played the game yet. This one is called Devil's World. I think this was banned. Something controversial about this game. I think it was banned in the US. Anything to do with the devil in the US back in the 70s and 80s was a no-go. A lot of the 80s hair bands from the UK, like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, didn't get anywhere in America in some states because of satanical lyrics they had. What else we got? We got Bomberman. It's a cool game. This is a fun little game. This is an arcade game actually. Nuts and Milk. It's quite cutie actually. It plays a bit like an old Spectrum game. I really like it. Really cool. Another cool arcade game. Cool artwork. Sun. Look at that. Fantastic game. Sipping my tea. Drinking tea this morning. I've got the morning off because it's freezing cold. I'm waiting for the ground to thaw out so I can go into work. So I just thought I'd do this. Another game, I haven't got a clue what it's called. Again, if you can tell me what it is, then it's by Jalico. Cool artwork. I don't think I've even played it, but I shall get round to it. Load Runner. I think that made it to many platforms. And I think they did about 5 versions of this, so it must have been quite popular back in the day. This is a favourite of mine, Pooyan. This is a fantastic game, and I actually prefer this version than the arcade version. I don't know, it's just really cool. It's just a nice little shooting game, a relaxed shooting game where you've got these little wolves that are coming down on balloons, and you've got to pop the balloons before they reach the bottom. If they reach the bottom, they walk across the ground and they come up your ladder, because you're shooting off a ladder. And I really like that. It's a very cool game. Pooyan. This is Track and Field. And I think I've got... Where's the other one? Yes. Track and Field and Hypersports. And it comes with the dual pads, which you can play 2-player on to get that finger action going. Very cool. I love these games, I really do. Some great arcade conversions on this platform. Not sure what that's called. It's got a funny name. Not sure. It looks like an arcade game though. There's some cool artwork. Exirion. Another arcade game. I really like that actually. Fantastic arcade game and a good conversion. Spy vs Spy. Classic game. Circus Charlie, and if you ever get to see the arcade machine of this, the cabinet, it's beautiful, it really is, and like the artwork on this, it's absolutely stunning. And it's quite a simple game, but I really like it, an early 80s game. Not sure who done it on the arcade, but Yeah, get hold of that, it's very cool. Oh, here's a good one. Star Force. I think there's a Star Force 2 as well, but this is brilliant. This is a great shooter on the Famicom. Another arcade game. We did these in the other video, which was City Connection, and which one's that? Buggy Popper. Now my friend Nesfly Phil just told me that actually goes for quite a lot on PAL A, so I didn't know that, but then again I wouldn't buy it if it was a lot of money anyway, but that's cool. We've got Duck Hunt. Everyone knows Duck Hunt. Pinball is all in-house Nintendo games. You can get that for the Versus, which is cool. Mario Brothers, classic game. Now Mario Brothers come out in the arcade, it came out in one of these cabinets. It came as a kit, and it also came as a dedicated. The dedicated machine was a wide body, a lot wider than these machines. I got offered one actually a couple of years ago, but it wouldn't fit through my door, so that was a shame. Donkey Kong 3, favourite game of mine. I'll be doing a gameplay video of this soon because someone's just beat my high score on that, so I'm not happy, so we're doing some more videos of that. What else we got? Akari Warriors, another arcade game. You know, all these are arcade games I've got in my collection because I don't have a jammer cab. I tend to go for NES games, so it's pretty cool. Gyrodine, another sort of top-down shooter, helicopter based. Kung Fu, this is a brilliant game on the Famicom, and it's a fantastic arcade game. Used to play this a lot as a kid, and it plays really well on the Famicom. Really good conversion. Here's an oddity, Mac Rider, in-house Nintendo game. I don't think it did very well, but it did come out in the arcade. It was an arcade kit for one of these machines. I think it was a Versus, on the Versus as well, so I could actually get that for my red tent. I actually got into it actually. The further you get into it, the better it becomes. Good little game. Pirate Hijamaru, that's a good game. Slightly different the arcade version because it's scrolling, whereas the arcade's just on one screen. But that's a cool little game, fun little game. Though the boss battle's a little bit hard. That seemed to go on for forever. This is a brilliant game on the Famicom. It's even better on the Versus, on my red tent. I haven't actually got it yet. I've got it coming. It's ordered from America. It's on its way. This is great because you play 2 players, one on each screen, and either one of you can enter the other person's game. So that's got a lot of playability in that. That's Wrecking Crew. Here's a cool one, Sky Destroyer. I've actually got. I went out and actually bought the control stick, the flight stick that you use with this game, which is a bit of fun. Yeah, it's funny that they've got the Japanese Rising Sun on there on the plane, because I always thought that after the war, the Japanese weren't allowed to use anything related to the war on any of their products. Maybe they got away with that. Which one's this called? Solomon's Key. Another arcade game, fantastic NES conversion, Famicom conversion. Totally recommend that. Lovely box art. Look at that. Super game that is. Here's a game I was never that keen on the arcade, but I do like the box art. Look at that, Crazy Climber, huh? Isn't that super? But I do find it a little bit fiddly. The controls a little bit fiddly. It's not very fluid. Here's a goddamn awful game. Frontline. This has got to be the worst game I've ever played on the Famicom so far. But I like the artwork. I don't know. I picked it up. I thought the artwork looks cool. It reminded me of a Mega Drive game. Can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, I haven't picked it up. It actually plays rubbish, so don't bother with that one unless you just want to collect it for the artwork. Salamander, beautiful game, awesome game. Oh, another arcade game, nice shooter, relatively cheap, doesn't go for that much. Commando, not the best conversion of Commando. I always thought the Spectrum version was the best, actually. I really like that. And this is 1942, classic arcade game. Not a great conversion, but still, it's 1942. You can't go wrong with that. Nice little shooter. You get some really nice ones here now. Fantasy Zone. Look at that. This always reminds me sort of like in-house Nintendo stuff, because the graphics on there are all very kind of colourful, bright sprites, very vibrant, and that's a brilliant game. That's kind of like a Defender, an early Defender, but a colourful one, an easier game to play. Really like that game. Dr. Mario's a favourite of mine. My daughter loves playing that with me. Can't wait to get that on my Nintendo Red 10 actually, because that'd be an awesome game to play versus. We got Image Fight. That's a fantastic shooter. Can't recommend that enough. Plays a bit like Iridium on the Specky, if you remember that, like a top-down shooter. Really cool. Quite hard, quite fast-paced, but cool. What else we got? Oh, we've got Elevator Action. I showed you that in the last video. We've got Gradius. It's another game I can get on my Versus. Okay. So that's that there. Oh, okay, we've got these here. Forgot about these. Rolling Thunder. That was an arcade game, and actually prefer playing it on this. I've got a bar top upstairs which I've got all my main games on. I actually prefer playing it on this. It's not a bad game. The music's cool. The arcade cabinet's really cool. Yeah, cool game. This one is Mappy Land and Mappy Kids. I don't think these are arcade games. Mappy was, which is, I'll get onto that in a minute, but they're cool artwork and these are good games. Really cool games. Right, that's that. So now we're getting on to my favourite in the Famicom collection, which is the Namco. The reason why they're my favourite is because the artwork is like arcade perfect, if you like. You almost feel like you're getting a piece of the arcade machine. And because I don't collect PCBs, I would do if I had the room. If I had a jammer cabin here, I would have collected all the PCBs for these games, but that's another expense I can't afford. So for me, the Famicom, these Namco games are the next best thing, because they're pretty much arcade perfect in my mind. Look at that. Look at the artwork on that. That's Galaxian. A super game. We've got Pac-Man. Very cool. I'm not a big fan of Pac-Man, I have to admit. Mrs. Pac-Man's slightly better, but never, even back in the day, I never used to play it much. Exevious. That's a cool shooter. That's another arcade game with the arcade kind of graphics on there, the artwork. Here's the other Mappy I was on about. This is a fantastic arcade game and it's an awesome conversion. You play a funny little cat, I think, or mouse, being chased by mouse police. It's cool, I like it. Oh, this is a game. If I didn't have a Nintendo row here, I didn't collect Nintendo machines, I'd collect space orientated games, because back in the 70s everything to do with space was cool for kids. You had Star Wars, which was released in 1977, wasn't that far off the moon landings, and in the 80s you had the kind of space shuttle stuff going on. Everything to do with space was cool, so I would have a lineup of space related arcade machines like Asteroids Deluxe, I'd have Galaga, I'd have Gyrus, you know, I'd have all these great arcade games on this side, which would be really cool. But I don't have that. I've got to make do with these, which is just as cool, I think. Look at that, Galaga. What a great game. Fantastic game. And me and my mate Dave, we always play that when he comes over. Just about whip his ass. Just had a sip of my tea. It's tea today. Right, we've got Dig Dug. You can see that, it's a very another cool arcade game. Here's an unusual one, Warp Man. Now, I'm pretty sure that was a Rockola game. correct me if I'm wrong. So that is an arcade game, but I haven't actually played it on this yet. So I'll have to give that a go soon. Warpman, but I'm pretty sure it was an arcade game. Something's just come up on my phone. Just get rid of that. So, Jugra. It looks like a role-playing game of some sort, or maze type game. Haven't given it enough time. I should do really. Battle City. Now I paid a lot of money for this because I really like this game. It's like a tank game, a bit like Tank on the Atari 26, but a little bit more depth to it. I can actually get that on the Versus on my Super Nintendo as well. Sorry, on my Red Tent. Pac-Land, that's another arcade game. Some cool artwork on there. Little Tinkerbell going on. Look at that, isn't that cool? Burger Time. That's a beautiful cabinet if you ever see one. Hard game, but once you master how they work their way around the board, you can get quite far in it. Yeah, I really like that, Burger Time. It's a classic 80s game. Come on. Star Luster, or Star Joust. Yeah. Again, I think I can get that on the Red Tent as a Versus game. Not quite sure 100%, but it's cool. We've got Tag Team Pro Wrestling. Haven't played that. Dig Dug 2. I'm not a big fan of Dig Dug. I know a lot of people are. I mean, I can see why. It is a cool arcade game, but I don't think that is an arcade game. Babel. Haven't played it. Again, it's got lovely box art. Really cool game. And I'm missing one actually out of this collection. I think it's Chinese something. It's like a fighting game. I haven't got it. It goes for a lot of money, that's why I haven't got it yet. My favourite game out of all of these, Sky Kid, which I can get on my Red Tent as well. It's a fantastic 2-player game. Totally recommend that. Absolutely brilliant game. And it plays almost arcade perfect. Love it. Great music in that too. And this one, not quite sure what it's called. Looks like GIF or something. But it looks like an RPG that I probably wouldn't have the time for. So that's it, guys. I think I've got a few loose games here. I've got Mario Brothers loose. Joust, that's quite a rare game, but not as good as Balloon Fight. Balloon Fight's the best. Super Mario USA, and that's about it on the Famicom. I will be getting some more this year. In the next video I'll do the NES games, my UK and American NES, and then I'll get down, we're sort of getting on to more of the modern stuff, the GameCube and the Wii and N64 and all the other sort of shizzle I've got up here. Not much now. I mean, I've kind of narrowed it down because running out of room for the arcade stuff, which takes precedent in here. That's it really. Tonight I'm going to do a video of Sheriff. My mate Roger's coming around and we're going to do a gameplay of Sheriff. So, been wanting to do that for a while. So that'd be really cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video. Cheers.